What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Thank you for stopping in. Today we have an exciting unboxing to dig into for you guys. Before we get started, double check and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I would love to have you here. And before you head out, do me a huge favor. Hit the thumbs up button. Greatly appreciate it, everyone. Really helps push the video out there so more people can check it out. And feel free to let me know what you are carrying in your pockets today down in the comments. So we recently had a couple of knives come in from a good buddy of mine. Shout out to Craig for sending some different knives in. And this is a company and a knife I've never checked out before, but I've seen them throughout my knife journey and travels online. The company is Sixleaf, and they can be found on White Mountain Knives. And funny enough, I have a coupon code over there that'll get you 10% off your order if you were to pick up a Sixleaf knife or almost anything else. There are some things that code doesn't cover, but code GBALL10, it's always down in the description, will get you 10% off your order on most items. It'll say if coupon codes are not valid for the given knife, but in the case of Sixleaf here, the coupon code is going to be good to go. So we have a nicely centered blade here. We have some black micarta cutout and a rear flipper tab for deployment. We have a little lower mounted deep carry rollover clip. The clip is recessed, and we have these button top kind of screws, which I would rather them be recessed, but the pocket clip, and it looks like there should be enough room under there. We'll check it and see. And it looks like it's going to be right hand only for this particular model. We do have a nice little lanyard hole there. And we're looking at a very beautiful stone washed drop point blade. About average blade stock thickness, I would say. And this is going to be the SL20 model, and it's going to be coming in D2. Rattlesnake Designs, is that the name of the knife? I'm not sure. Is it Rattlesnake Designs, or is that the name of the knife? If you know, let me know. I'm not familiar with Sixleaf by any means. Like I said, this is the first time I've had a knife from them, and surprisingly, this is a good size. I guess I shouldn't say surprisingly, but fittingly enough, this is a good size, a good profile. It seems really well made. And I did do, before making this video, or starting the video, I should say, I did a quick little search on White Mountain Knives, and I wanted to see what other products they had to offer. And it looks like they dabble in some more, I don't want to say premium-ended stuff, but more premium-ended for them, I'm going to assume. They offer some carbon fiber type knives in 20 CV. They have some titanium knives in 20 CV, and they're very affordable, like right around 100 to 110 bucks. So, you know, if it's 100 bucks and you can get 10% off, that's going to take it down below 100, down to around 90 bucks with free shipping. So not a bad price at all to get yourself a flame titanium and 20 CV blade. Now, the heat treat on that, I don't know, but I am fairly interested to the point now where maybe I'll pick one up and see what they're all about. So it looks pretty good in the pocket. There'll be a tiny bit poking out there, but no big deal at all. Standard rollover clip. Looks pretty clean, looks pretty good. Could be a little slimmer, but not bad at all. The retention is good on this thinner hank. If it shows good retention on something such as this, it's going to have good retention in a normal pants pocket as well. So let's take a little closer look up of this thing. Now, keep in mind, this is not a brand new knife right from the retailer. This was, pre-owned. We have a G10 backspacer here. Looks good, looks clean. Everything is flush fitting. Everything looks really good. Centered. Cutout works really well for deployment. The action is nice and controlled. Clean. This thing feels really good in hand as well. It is completely flat, but the way they chamfer everything down real nice and soft. You got this big chamfer out right here. good thick chamfer on that liner. Nice thick liner. We're looking at pretty early lockup there, about 20% if we're lucky on that. Easy to disengage and easy to get to. The detent is pretty solid. You can see it and hear it kind of click in there. Nice positive click. And for a liner lock, that's tough to kind of show sometimes or to hear sometimes. But that's got a nice positive click. The flipper tab is done really well. It comes out nice and straight. It's got a nice row of jimping on there. You can get a ton of leverage on it, and it's up above the pivot enough where you'll be able to get that leverage that we want on the knife. And, you know, about right there, the blade will take over and give you enough oomph to really lock out nice and solid. This thing feels really good in hand. Now, because of the flipper tab, you won't be able to choke up right behind the edge like, you know, some knives can with the full finger choil. But as I've gotten more used to, you know, handling tons of knives, carrying knives with flippers, now you wouldn't want to do something extremely, you know, rugged like this, but I've kind of attained the ability to just kind of put my finger over that flipper tab and basically disregard it and not acknowledge it if I need to get up behind the blade for a certain type of cut. Now, you're not going to want to be squeezing the hell out of it and doing something crazy, maybe not, but for something a little bit lighter, but you need a lot of control or whatever, you can go right up over that flipper tab. And even this one, a lot of times they're rounded over, and that makes it even nicer. But even in the case of something like this, now it's going to depend on your hand size and a few other things, but even with that being a little more straight and pokier per se, doesn't bother me one bit to be over top of it and make a few cuts that way. So still doable, but you're not going to have that full finger choil effect. As far as the closing action, it's really good. It's nice and controlled. It's not that loosey-goosey stuff. Now, not, you know, if it's loosey-goosey, but it's still controlled and nice. But this is about right where I want my action to be. Just a nice, you know, drop to the thumb and then like a nice light shake or two. And it's clean, it's controlled, nice and smooth, and that's right where this thing is hitting. I'm going to assume that these are very, very inexpensive. Maybe like $30 or something like that. Just based on, I can't find this particular knife, but, or at least with a quick search, you know, it didn't pop up. I didn't search for this specific knife. When we do an overview of it, maybe I'll have a little bit more information on it, but I'm going to assume these are $30 or under because they have some micarta and VG10 knives for right around $40. So, you know, I think it's safe to assume these are going to be very, very affordable. And for that kind of money, this is another company to kind of put on the radar if you're in that price point in that area. Because there are a ton of knives in that $20 to $40 range, but there's a ton of garbage in that area as well. So to find certain companies and certain knives that fall into that price point that are solid knives, that's what we want. That's a really good thing. And in the case of this one, you know, if we can assume this is say $30, this is an extremely solid knife for $30. D2, micarta, solid detent, good fit and finish across the board. Everything seems well executed. Let's see what kind of edges on it currently. I don't know how much Craig used this, but it seems very well taken care of. So let's see what kind of edge we have on this thing. Now, I don't know You know, does Sixleaf make their own knives? Does somebody make their knives for them? I don't know those things, but in time, this has been pretty impressive to the point where it has me interested in checking out some other models. This has been a great surprise. Like I said at the beginning there, this is a company I've seen. You know, I've seen the name, maybe seen a model or two here or there, but not a company you really see much, you know, on the tubes. At least not that, you know, my memory serves me, not anytime recently anyway. Now, they might be a company who doesn't put out a ton of different models. And maybe they do. I don't know. But one thing is for certain, this seems like a very solid model. Now, if we test this lockup and the lockup is good, I'll probably be picking up something else from this company. Even if this knife doesn't stay locked up, I might still end up picking up something from this company because that could be a variation from one model to the next, one knife to the next. But everything is so well done on this knife, it'd be worth giving this company a shot, you know, a second shot, so to speak. But it feels locked up good. There's no up and down play. And if I really wrench on this damn thing, I can get the blade to kind of move a little bit, but nothing that would cause a concern. There's no detent lash. There's no pivot lash. Wow. Okay. Locked up. Wow. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty good. That's very good. Very good. Yeah, I like this thing quite a bit. I think we'll definitely be giving Sixleaf here another try, maybe with something, you know, more out of their premium line. You guys will have to let me know. Do you have any experience with Sixleaf? Have you ever looked at any Sixleaf knives? Any info that you have on this company? Anything at all? You know, do you have some experience with their knives? Let me know what your feedback is on the knives, and maybe we can make a decision to go and pick one up and give it a try. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, though, guys. Always appreciate that. If you're new here, we release videos just like this one every single day. Hit that subscribe button, ring the little bell. I would love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I'll throw up a couple of new videos. Go check one of them out. Have yourself an awesome day. Thanks again for watching, and I will catch you on the next one.